Is that what we're talking about today?
God, no.
No,
Politics.
I don't follow politics.
Do you feel the burn?
The only thing I know about politics is watching things like Newsroom, where they're like, "We're calling Iowa," and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Well, welcome to a highly politically charged bowl of dude soup.
No.
God no.
All we're doing, we're talking about candidates
about
today.
Politics more.
Welcome
we're
to
really informed about gaming.
Yeah, we're switching gears here. Big deal. Covering the campaign presidential race.
Oh boy.
One person got voted on. That's a big deal.
Jeb Bush calling it now.
Oh, wow, already?
Jeb Bush
Calling it
in
for
the
Jeb
White
Bush.
House.
Wow.
He's making a comeback.
I
Guys,
think
people
George
angry.
Bush Sr. is gonna come back.
Whoa, HW?
From
Yeah.
the dead?
It's like.
Oh, he's not dead.
He's not dead.
Calling it for George Bush. Calling Iowa for George Bush Sr.
It's like, actually, he is eligible to run for a second term.
That's true. He could
Yeah.
if he wanted to.
This episode of Dude Soup is brought to you by two sponsors, Luke Crate and Mac Weldon. Hear from those later. But first, we're calling Iowa for Senior George Sr.
Start the
Enough
game.
with the
Lord.
You
politics.
call him HW.
HW. And then W.
H-dubs.
Darkest.
That's a good name. Go with that.
Darkest.
Nice.
There. Twisted it on you.
What are we playing today?
Playing Darkest Dungeon.
Darkest is...
Is it a roguelike?
I think it's roguelike-esque. It's roguelike-like. It's a roguelike-like.
I want to cut my wrist.
Essentially, you're in a dungeon, and my understanding is it's full of challenges, but your team's mental state is a big deal. So if they get all spooked and freaked out, you have to...
Fell asleep there.
Let's talk about the Fine Brothers.
Yeah, let's talk about
Thank you.
Jeez, talk about something that people
so-
are talking about.
People are talking about the
Not
Fine
anymore.
Brothers.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
They fixed it.
They fixed it.
Just this morning, they were like, "Oh shit!"
No, it was last night.
This last night. Sorry.
Damn.
So that would be Monday night.
Pulled a big whoopsie. We're like, "Oh, you guys are real mad." Never mind.
Whoopsie.
So there's a lot of really interesting things about how all this went down, but I guess we can summarize it for those who may not be totally up to speed or maybe only have half the story, because boy, there's a lot of that going around.
Yep.
I'm probably one of them because
Moral-
I found out about the story on bad internet in Fiji.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
moral of the story is, if you think the internet likes you, they probably hate you.
That's a very powerful moral. I would say the moral is don't expect a broad audience to understand the intricacies of media production and licensing, and they will get mad if they maybe have a half understanding of it. Which don't let that sound like a defense of what happened, because I think it was pretty.
Well, explain
stupid.
the story. What happened?
Let's explain the story. So I don't have the dates written down here, but not too long ago by internet time, Fine Brothers announced React World, which is a way for them to license out the React brand, imagery, and all this shit, so anyone else can make a reaction video a la the Fine Brothers style, use their branding, use their imagery on the thumbnail and stuff. And then that way, so to back it up just a smidge, this stuff happens on the internet all the time, where somebody will make a thumbnail and title that looks like another kind of series. And the intention is obviously to trick people into clicking on watching it. This happens a lot with reaction videos. Somebody will...
I didn't know that, actually.
Oh yeah. Somebody will take a very popular video, make a reaction video to it, and the title and thumbnail will be almost the same, with the intention of the creator would say that this isn't true, but let's be honest, the obvious intention is to get people to click on your video instead of the one that you thought was popular.
Also, real quick, does anyone among the four of us ever, on a regular basis or even once a month, watch a React
I
video?
don't.
No, I do not.
I think between all of us, we could give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care what people think of something.
Yeah, I'd rather watch the actual video itself.
I think I watched the last one I watched was old people playing, reacting to Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, huh.
I was like, wow, they got really far into that game
Yeah.
without having any concept of a controller or how to play it. Must be a good game.
Old people playing GTA was pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there are some good videos, and we're not saying they're bad videos.
I saw that one.
I'm just saying, as far as, my caring of the React community, I'm just like, have fun fighting in the swirling bucket you're inside of.
But the amazing thing about the internet, though, there are huge communities dedicated to things that we've never touched.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, fucking, was it shopping or haul videos?
Well,
or
fashion vlogs
Style
are
hauls?
Jesus,
they're
yeah.
massive. And,
Yeah.
we never touched those. So anyways,
we live in gaming.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Lance, go ahead.
So, yeah.
No worries. So the idea was, instead of a bunch of people ripping off Fine Brothers style or the reaction format in general, which the Fine Brothers apparently laid claim to in this process, which is part of the problem, now you could legitimately pay them for the Fine Brothers, like the React logo, the branding, and essentially the format, which is to say, not just people reacting to things, but the way that the camera moves, the timing of the cuts, the music, format means a lot more than just the premise of a video. Format can also mean the editing pace, the style of it, the setup where like you explain the premise and then cut to people reacting in a certain tempo. It goes a little deeper than just they have trademarked people reacting to things.
These are all things they didn't really cover in their initial video.
Yes, and that's
true.
That's part of the greater problem, I think, is that they didn't. They assumed that the audience knew exactly what the licensing and the format meant, and it didn't mean that. Oh, are you gonna stop bleeding, dog? Or are you just gonna die?
He's poisoned.
Just leave me, please.
He's bleeding. So okay. So they put up their initial video, which was not great in terms of tone.
It was just sort of like, we're starting this network, and you
Yeah.
guys can react to for money.
And I think the big thing that a lot of people got really pissed off about was the way it was framed to be like, guys, we got great news for you. We got great news. You're going to be able to give us money to make things you could have already made for free. Is essentially what it came off as. And to a degree, that's true.
Well, have you ever worked for like an insurance company or like, so like I used to work for like, I'm not going to say the name of it, I've said it before, but like I've worked for like basically like a pyramid scheme type, like one of those places. And I remember going to one of those, like, it's basically like, it feels like a Klan rally, but they're like, I am so excited.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm excited, but it's the guy on the top who's making all the money.
Yeah.
Like, it reminded me a lot of that where I'm like, I have to do all the work though. It's like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Like, but you just sit there. You make a lot of money.
Well, I mean, like, the comparison that I drew, and I don't know, like, I'm not necessarily sure if this is exactly the right comparison, but it's basically like an MCN. So, like, they said, like, hey, you guys can give us money even though we're already rich. And it's for these things that you have to do, not us. And you're going to give us a little piece. Now, that does make sense in the sense that, for example, if you make something Star Wars related or something Marvel related, and you start selling it, you do have to give Marvel or Star Wars a piece of it.
Sure.
That's part of licensing. Now that makes sense from a business standpoint.
Yeah, but you're not selling toys. You're just making videos in your your bathroom.
And that's sort of the difference there is that like YouTube I think is always looked at as like the little guy is making videos and not making hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars a year. So it's weirder when a little guy YouTuber is telling me, now you guys can give us more money. It would make us even more rich. Like, I think that's strange.
That's funny too because because a lot of people start as YouTubers, right? And every single time a YouTuber tries to get in front of a camera and do some sort of PR thing that they clearly haven't consulted a PR person about, it is always horrible. Because in that original Fine Brothers videos, they're like, you know what? We love supporting the little guy. And then it goes, we've grown from a small company like this, and then it shows a picture of their company trip to Italy. It's like, and now we get trips to Italy. And it's like, wait, hold on. Somewhere
that's a big
along the
company.
way, you stop being a dude in the living room talking to a webcam. But yeah, there's a disconnect, and this happens with most celebrities or whatever. They became a big company. My big thing about it is the moves that they were doing. I was like, oh, from a business perspective, this is really smart. They should be having these conversations far behind closed doors.
Not
like
on YouTube. videos.
Not on YouTube, posting it up on their channel and stuff. And I'm not saying what they were doing is right. I don't necessarily endorse what they were doing. But from a business perspective, it's totally seemed like the kinds of ideas that would come up in a board meeting and then you try and quietly execute on,
Sorry, Lawrence, go ahead.
Well, I think James is right. There's some aspects to this that could have bared a little more business savvy in their execution. So they put out their initial video that the tone was pretty raunchy, especially for the idea they were pitching. From their perspective, and I think Adam has said this before, it did seem like they were kind of in their own world a little bit, where it's like, we make these videos and people love them and people know who we are and they know everything about content production. So we're just going to let them know, hey, you can share in this stuff and it'll be great. And then people are like, wait a minute, you're trying to trademark reaction videos?
Yeah.
You're gonna like go after people with cease and desist if they try to make reaction videos? And they were like, or rather, they then had to kind of catch up after the idea had already been seeded kind of erroneously that that's what they were gonna do. There was a Facebook post that they made has since been deleted, by the way. All this stuff has been wiped away. From the Fine Brothers, it said, we do not own the idea or copyright for reaction videos overall, nor did we ever say we did. You don't need anyone's permission to make these kinds of videos, and we're not coming after anyone. But then people called them out because they actually did that for Ellen when she did that. So they did a Facebook post, and I'm paraphrasing here, but essentially Ellen did a reaction video on her show to kids reacting to old tech. And And the Fine Brothers posted like, "Can you believe she's doing this? They didn't even include us. That's not right. Let's all go after Ellen." So it's like,
Yeah.
damn it! You keep saying these things.
I'll say it without, because obviously I don't want to get into like any sort of politics, because we all work in the same world and all that stuff.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
and
far be it for me to ever like criticize anyone for anything to do, but like I think I having we always talk about the industry that we gaming and all that stuff. This is the same sort of stuff that goes on all the time. It's just much more complex, and there are people who have been doing this sort of stuff for years, and I think that's why you see less PR fuck ups in the gaming industry. You know what I mean?
Like, better
they've been around longer.
Well, that's the other thing too. It's like people are always like, "Why are game companies so quiet?" It's like, I don't want something like this happening. Like, I don't know. It's always very eye opening.
On the subject of industry, we should mention that we are part of Fullscreen Incorporated, which is also the network that Fine Brothers is a part of.
That's right, yeah.
So there is a connection there, even though we've never met them, never been a part of their content, and have
Elise
nothing
has
to do
met
with
them.
them.
Elise has met that's right.
Elise has met the Fine Brothers.
She interviewed for a job,
We have
right?
to. We have
Why
to.
do you
Yeah.
keep throwing Elise under the bus?
I'm just saying we have to full disclosure.
Oh, sure. I think the closest was Michael and Gavin were in a couple videos.
Yeah, they were on some of the Fine Brothers React videos.
We were never asked.
I think.
They were-
Whoops! What did I just click?
I don't know what you
Oh
Title
shit!
screen.
Oof.
Open up the witness.
Oh boy, really?
No, I think if you're gonna play that game though, you guys have to swap.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Lawrence has to
I've already witnessed.
moderate.
It's not installed. But
No, I was saying Darkest Dungeon. But
Oh sure, yeah.
Just play.
That game looked hard.
You do
Witness is hard too.
What? No, you just play Snake. Sorry, continue.
So yeah, just so you guys know, like we were not contacted by Fullscreen or told to talk about this. We just do because it's important.
Well, it's part of the internet.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
it has a huge thing in the internet.
So if you're feeling a little conspiratorial, just banish those ideas. We're just doing our own thing.
So in the timeline, they released that and the internet blew up. I remember Mega64 released a really good
Yeah.
That's funny.
React video that was hilarious and made me laugh.
The Merlin fish one was pretty good. I
Really,
don't know if you saw that.
really loud. There were a bunch of other, like I think Boogie released a video that
Yeah.
apparently a lot of people watch. I haven't watched it yet. But the internet exploded and said, "This is ridiculous. How can they be doing this?"
Yeah.
So what's interesting is, and the problem is, they never technically contradicted themselves, provided you know all the intricacies of media production, what trademarks are. But so they're posting things on Facebook saying like, "We do not own the idea or copyright for reaction videos," and yet they filed a trademark for the word React by itself, in addition to a bunch of other trademarks that they already own. And that's kind of an interesting thing when it comes to the timing of it. So they already filed and got trademarks for, let me make sure I've got this right here, Teens React and Elders React.
It was back in 2012, right?
Yeah, these are really old. 2013, actually, sorry. July 2013. Or is that August? No, it's July. All right. So they have a ton of other ones out that they've just taken out. Okay. So they have the word React by itself, Parents React, Celebrities React, and Adults React. So they're taking out all these trademarks at the same time saying, no, we're not trying to own reaction. But, I mean, essentially they're trying to get the tools to own it if they need to, even though they're not doing that yet.
Right.
It gets pretty weird.
My thing, it's funny because probably the funniest response video that came out to it was their own response video.
Oh, to the
I
first
didn't
video?
get to watch it.
where
I
they
didn't
were
either.
basically going like, "No, you don't understand." Like, they were clearly very frustrated with the whole situation, but like they're trying to rationalize it, and they're like, "All right, well this is a bad metaphor, but this is what we're doing." It's basically like McDonald's, and they talk about franchising out of McDonald's, where you don't want to necessarily start your own restaurants. So you approach McDonald's, you say, "Hey, I'll give you some money." Or I want to license the McDonald's brand. They give you their menu. They give you the recipes. They you can get stuff like that. The only difference is what they do is YouTube. And not to degrade our own medium, but most of the people that are going to sign up for this are going to get what from it?
Yeah,
A
basically.
graphics package that they're just going to throw on top. It's not like they're getting sent a webcam.
Nope.
It's not like they're going to go, "Oh, I have a concept."
Or be taught how to edit. or
Yeah,
anything
call
like that?
someone at the Fine Brothers, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is great. Yeah, totally. Yeah, let's do it." And then that's like, it's not gonna work that way. They're not gonna get any help. It's just gonna be them taking a piece of someone else just doing whatever it is.
So the idea is, go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say that James was hitting on a point which like has always been kind of my personal thought of like the inherent sort of flaw of certain MCNs. Not that it's like it's a business we've worked in for a while, but it's the thing where there's always a point where you get too big, and you can't help the little guy, and like that sucks. And like I think we've always, in our mentality, we've always thought think smaller, Oh, sorry. I was using my
Couldn't
hands.
stand seeing that thing
Smaller.
glow. All right.
Sorry.
I'm just playing the
But
witness now,
that's
though.
that's the other thing too, where I was thinking like with this whole React thing, I was like, we've seen it before, at past jobs where someone was like, I have 30 emails I'm sitting on right now. I'm not going to get through these for like another week because I have to get. It's like what's it called? Tech support, like that, which is like Blizzard's. Has like whatever 10,000 people working on or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you can't. When it gets to a point where the volume is just too much, and I was like, as soon as they announced that thing, and they're like. It sounded like an MCN, and even though they said specifically we're not an MCN, I was like, oh, okay. But still, it just sounded like one of those things where I'm like, oh boy, you're gonna have a tough time.
A little bit. It's weird because what they are attempting to do is give you a legal and proper way to basically ape their style. But people on YouTube do that anyway. And then Fine Brothers / Fullscreen actually look like the bad guys by issuing takedowns on videos that arguably are clearly trying to imitate a Fine Brothers video, which is very popular. And then the discussion gets a little weird because I've heard people say without saying like, well, you already have all the views, just let us do it. And that doesn't work. Like you can't make a TV show with a similar title and tone. Like you can't make The Big Explosion Theory and it's just about a bunch of nerds like referencing 80s cartoons. You can't do that. You don't get away with that. But somehow on YouTube it seems much more democratic because I guess
slow motion men.
Yeah, right. and people would do that, and the guys and girls that have built those channels and created those properties, they're entitled to some amount of protection, right? Maybe. I guess the problem in this case is Fine Brothers did not invent the reaction formula. There were reaction videos on YouTube far before they did it. They did a pretty good job of perfecting the format, but I would say the core of the anger is that doesn't entitle them to own the format lock, stock, and barrel.
Well, I think the thing that we always talk about this on YouTube, and I don't know if we say it often enough, is that the appeal of YouTube is that everybody can do it. So when all of a sudden the Fine Brothers are telling, like this would be like if we came out and were like, all right guys, we're trademarking the fact that we're making fun of video games in our style.
Oh boy.
And we are going to charge you now to do this. So if you want to make fun of video games like we do, make sure you license our thing and do the whole... No, there are thousands of YouTubers that make fun of video games just like we do. And we understand that's part of being on YouTube. That's one of the reasons we always talk about like the clickbait thumbnails and the clickbait titles and like making ridiculous titles and thumbnails. It's because we need people to watch. That's how we get people to watch. So instead of reaching out and trying to trademark, what already was a thing in Mystery Science Theater, we work with the medium that we're in.
This is a weird capitalism kind of thing where, on the one hand, it's not necessarily who does it first; it's who does it the best and who can get the largest audience, right? So the whole saying, "Hey, reaction videos existed first." Adam, you can solve that puzzle.
You can?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, sorry. I'm half listening, half trying to solve.
I was trying to too, and I couldn't.
You just start from the back.
Right side.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, it's right side, and then you go up and around and go blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But
fuck.
it's
Yeah,
an inherent
that's
it's an
complicated.
inherent capitalism thing where it says that you. There you go.
There you go. Now you're doing it. Now you're puzzling.
Where it's like whoever does it biggest, whoever does it best. But then the problem comes when it flips back around, and the company who's doing it biggest and the best is now afraid of someone coming around and doing it bigger and better than them after the fact, right? That's what this feels like. My thing is, I get it. I know you guys want to protect this thing, and listen, you earned it. You guys earned it. You built a whole business on the back of these reaction videos, so clearly you were doing it better or more effectively than other groups were doing it. Otherwise, they would be you. Yeah. But that being said, you can't just say, now no one else can do it, right? Because you only exist because you were able to navigate that landscape.
Yep.
So can you continue navigating it? Because if you can, awesome. You got it. You can hold the prize. But if you can't, it's not like if someone wins the Super Bowl one year, they don't go, they get to win it next year too.
Now we're the champions forever.
It's like, no, generally it's not the same champion 2 years in a row. It just doesn't work that way,
So I've got a few rebuttals for you, James.
Okay.
And this isn't what I think. This is just what people say, or what a business person would say in response to what you're saying. One is when it comes to the problem isn't really like you don't have lack of faith in your inability to keep like playing the game or fighting the game. I think the issue isn't what people say when they're defending trademark, is that the existence of this other content that is so similar to ours has the potential to damage the brand that we've built. So I'm not saying that applies in this circumstance, but the argument would be, we have spent a lot of time developing a formula and a format of content for reaction videos that we're very proud of and perform very well. And because of that, there are other people making other reaction videos that try to imitate our style, try to imitate our brand, and genuinely confuse people that want to find our content. And then they watch these other people's content and think it's ours, and then they experience a subpar product, and that in turn damages our brand integrity.
Here's what I say to that business person: capitalism. And that's, honestly, that's the way that business person came up.
Yeah.
That's the way every other business person came up, is they learned how to navigate a landscape and got good at it.
Yeah.
So do you know what the best business does when that happens? They innovate. They then find something new,
Yep.
and they get good at that.
Yep.
In douchey business terms, we call it pivot.
And if you look at Apple, if you look at Google, if you look at these giant companies, they don't sit on their haunches and go like, "We made the best cell phone ever. Now shut the fuck up. Nobody else makes cell phones."
Yeah.
They get good at it.
So Apple tried that though, which is funny. Steve Jobs, God rest his evil soul, but he was quoted as saying he's like, Android stole from us. We are going nuclear on them. And it's like, fucker, you didn't invent multi-touch. And even though at one point he claimed they did, and it was like, you didn't.
I mean, if you look to the history of business as a precedent, you're going to be ruined.
Yeah.
Because business, almost by its nature, is terrible. Got to separate those blacks and whites.
Gotta separate them. Keep them
Gotta
separated.
keep them separate.
Oh,
Equal,
that's weird.
separate, but equal.
Jonathan Blow, you've done it again.
That's a weird thing to do.
So I get it. You can look into examples of
oh.
business. I mean, that works,
Wait,
but you
that
didn't
works?
need to do it. Yeah, all you have to do is keep the black and white separate.
Oh.
If you look
Wow,
to
racism.
if you look to business inherently, then you'll find any example of any understated whatever, shady tactics and stuff. But I totally agree with Bruce. Did you win the lottery, or did you make your fortune? Right? Did you build a business, or did you just win the lottery? Did you get lucky, or did you have a business plan and strategy? You got to separate the blacks and the whites, Adam. I don't know how to tell you that.
Do your fucking spiel.
I separate the blacks and the whites, Adam.
I want you to keep saying that because it sounds
Adam
so
was right.
racist.
Playing this game was the best idea.
It's fine. It's kind
No,
of
down!
No, not like that.
Thank you. Thank God.
You've already played this.
Thank God.
This is bullshit.
Kind of
No.
not fair because
James is gonna look real smart now. Bullshit. He's already done this. He's done this before.
So James,
Fuck you.
inherently, business is what I think
in the middle there we go. So we can both talk.
is a problematic business.
James already done it. He's just fucking. You can't practice for dude soup. This is stupid.
It's fine.
I don't like.
Is it not frustrating for you?
I mean, it is, but I enjoy it.
All right, well then you do it.
Yeah, Adam, do it.
I don't want to play.
Get up here and tell this.
I'll play.
All right,
Jeez, fuck.
You guys play over there though.
I'm not very good at it.
I like this seat.
I'm not very good at these puzzle
Bruce hasn't
games.
farted in this one.
No, I haven't
Absolutely
farted.
has. That's why I sit there.
Good podcast, everyone.
Yeah. So when it comes to discussions like this, what I find endlessly fascinating is that people turn what is like James was saying, the most capitalist move into a moral problem, which is that you're not allowed to claim that. That's not yours. You don't get to have that. But morals don't really enter into it. You got to use. Yeah, there you go. When it comes to business and law, it's not about what's right or wrong. It's about what's legal and what you can get away with. And I can't really fault Fine Brothers for trying to build, because that's essentially what they're doing, trying to build a money machine on the internet for doing something pretty. I mean, producing the content isn't hard, but it is essentially a turnkey production. You just have to find the next subject to produce on, and then invite in people and get them to say what you want.
I don't think there's any legal. I don't think that legally anyone should get involved in this. I don't think Fine Brothers broke any laws.
Oh well, you're. Oh well, no, I don't mean that. I mean it just in terms of copyright and trademark. Well, trademark specifically.
They are put in a position where other companies have been before, where they have an opportunity to abuse the system, which in this case is YouTube.
Do you think that this counts as abuse?
If you do a takedown on a video, or if the robot machine kicks in automatically and you use the word react in your video, say we did a video.
Go right first.
And we're like, Funhaus reacts to this to Fine Bros.
Nope, not there.
Actually, shit.
More.
Maybe we call that podcast this. I know nothing will happen.
Left.
We should probably play that other game. Seriously.
No, this is great. All right, cut that out and then go to the wall.
I see.
There you go.
Now you're thinking like blow. Nope, you're almost thinking like a blow.
Like this?
like
now
a
you're
blow.
blowing it.
Yeah, okay, now I'm
Now you're blowing it.
Woo!
There we go. Sorry.
This is a great podcast.
Yeah.
Go on, something about Fine Brothers, whatever.
Well, I forgot what the fuck I was talking about.
So I asked you if you thought you were saying like doing takedowns of other people's content basically counts as abuse of copyright law, or trademark law.
So
whatever.
the content ID system that YouTube enforces or uses, which is it's not perfect.
I think it's actually pretty impressive tech-wise.
Okay, but it's not perfect.
No.
Yeah, because
Nothing is.
Well, because it can be abused. That's the problem. You can just say, flag the internet for these words, and certain channels that are bigger than others can abuse that power. Now, the smart ones go, oh, you just release the claims because, okay, that falls either under fair use or, no, you're in the right. Okay, I'm just saying, with the content ID system, there's a lot more false negatives that could appear than, I mean, honestly, I think in order for YouTube to operate as a business, Jesus Christ.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm glad the system is in place because otherwise YouTube would never exist. Like when you go through the whole YouTube certification, you learn all this stuff, you realize you're like, oh shit, this really goes back to when Viacom essentially tried to nuke YouTube, and they were like, you stole our stuff. So they are like, okay, we'll put this system in place called Content ID. Now your problem is with the user, it's not with us. So now YouTube is blameless, but now we are still allowed to use their tools and their platform for free. And make money off of it.
Well, I feel like
I get it. It's a trade-off. That is what Content ID is.
So,
but it can be abused.
So yeah, I agree. Here's my other thing, and this isn't a counter argument. It's just building on top of it. YouTube, all YouTube does is serve videos to you on the internet.
Yep.
Other sites can do that too. YouTube is just the biggest and the best right now, right? Mm-hmm. But something else can come along with a different system that totally resolves that or whatever. So, like, I mean, YouTube is just another example of React videos happening. They just got to the top, and now YouTube is the one that
kind of, but
talks
they're
about.
not actively going after Vimeo and Dailymotion. They're just like, okay, we'll just make the better product.
Which again, I think is the strategy, right? Just make the better product.
It is a comment I often see on Reddit, and this always happens when a new Content ID thing or something comes up, but it's always like, man, somebody needs to build a better system. It's like, yeah, you get on that.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, also the conceit is that YouTube is built on the back of Google Bucks, which is basically if you put in a cheat code for the world, for the life, this whole global existence in which we all have.
It's just announced today, I believe, or yesterday, that Google is the most profitable company in the world, beating Apple.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Kind of like someone is liking it to, what is it, Monsters Incorporated, between Sully and Steve Buscemi.
Oh.
That is,
Anyway.
that analogy sticks.
But that sort of thing where it's like, it's always going to go back and forth because they're very profitable companies for what they do, but Google has the largest market share, and they're the ones who can afford to build a giant video infrastructure where you can upload from your phone and your computer and a million other things, and 10,000 other people can, and it just upload random garbage videos that we enjoy watching.
I like the videos that we make.
This being one of them. Yeah.
So
Good luck.
going a little bit back to what you guys were talking about. So I think Content ID is really just it's kind of the inevitable follow-up to the precedent from the Napster suit in the late 90s, which is that Napster was found distributing copyrighted material or trademarked material, and Napster was like, no, we're just the intermediary. It's not our responsibility what users do with our service. We just provide the service.
We just made the tool.
Turns out they are responsible, or rather they have to show at least some good faith effort to protect the trademark integrity and copyright integrity of all the media that's on their service. And that's what Content ID is. It's YouTube's good faith effort to protect the integrity of things on its service. Whether it's right or wrong, again, I don't think morals really factor into it. It's the emergent system that is compliant with the law of the land in the United States, at least.
I was going to say, does YouTube offer more pros than cons?
I would say so.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah,
You can make money.
I was going to say,
Well,
I was going to say, just for
we're a
the
totally biased
masses.
answer, but yeah.
Well, no, I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
for a general user, I mean, I kind of use YouTube as like television now. That's just sort of how I watch stuff. And like, for it to exist, you need, like we're saying, something like Content ID. Like, it is the inevitability, like what you have to deal with, which is like, it's kind of interesting because like, having worked in television and stuff like that, we were just lamenting about this earlier, but Bruce and Spool and I mean James, we can all talk about this. Like, just to get an image on television was a pain in the ass.
Like a picture?
Yeah, because you'd have to like license a photo and all this stuff, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, all the hoops you have to jump through just to do that. Whereas like on YouTube, like you just kind of upload wherever you want. It's kind of cool right now, but it's fun. The Wild West, if you will.
It's exciting.
I
All right.
remember building segments for Attack of the Show, and I had to dig through the Pralinger archives to try and find horrible BS that didn't really match the subject matter at all.
Well, it's weird because even Prelinger. So I was using some Prelinger footage on a YouTube video, and I uploaded it, and it got hit with Content ID, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then I had to dig through the terms for Prelinger, and it turns out it's only certified as what is the word for it?
What?
Public domain.
Oh.
It's only certified as public domain by the uploader. So anyone can put whatever they want on Prelinger, and it doesn't mean that it's actually...
Yeah, you have to filter by the, like...
Well, even then,
full one.
nobody's checking all that content for you to ensure that it actually can be used.
There's nothing stopping me from going on archive.org and uploading the Matrix.
Basically,
and being
yeah.
like, hey guys, it's public domain, and someone goes, oh wow, well now it's done.
Cool, I'll upload it to
Yeah,
YouTube.
It doesn't work that way.
How dare you, Warner Brothers, trademarking my livelihood? I don't have a segue there. Some boxes.
Just do the ad read.
Yeah. This podcast is sponsored by Loot Crate. For February, they braved the dangers of Alexandria and bribed some mercs with chimichangas to bring you the finest loot this side of the afterlife. February's theme is Dead, reaches across genres to bring you 5 exclusives, including a t-shirt and 2 figures to celebrate the release of The Walking Dead and Deadpool's solo film debut. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe to receive the Dead Crate. When that happens, or when the cutoff happens, it's over. So go to lootcrate.com/dudesoup and enter code dudesoup to save $3 on your subscription for a box full of goodies that probably have nothing to do with YouTube copyright. Thank you for your sponsorship, Loot Crate. Talk to you next month.
Somebody help me out.
Bruce is getting Jonathan blown right now.
Yeah.
Somebody help me.
I think it
Go
was
up.
You only need to really solve one way.
That's
Well,
you gotta sell both. The same
I mean, they both
Kind of.
work against each other.
they
So
Yeah, but I'm
go
saying
from there. Go to the
one has to work
So I'm
without
looking
the
at the left one, right? So go to the right,
Good podcast material. What else?
and
we
then
got
go
now?
up.
Oh, I guess we should. What's the? How do
Keep
you?
going?
How do we? How does the Fine Brothers story end?
Well, okay, so I honestly think the public outcry was enough to convince them
Up
that they
left.
should.
Well,
Yeah,
have
you
you
can't.
seen
It's
what
blocked.
they've done?
It is. Oh. Shit.
Yeah. They privated all their videos, deleted all their posts, rolled everything back. Did they post an apology or anything, or did they just quietly get rid of everything?
Yeah, no,
They
their
did.
their,
Yeah,
their
okay.
post is like if you look it up, you should read it actually. 'Cause
Just one of this morning.
Where
by
is
the
It's
way.
very short. It's very
They
short.
rescinded all
right.
of their trademarks.
And
They
then down,
they
and then
dropped
right.
all their
No.
past content ID.
Where is this?
It's on the Fine Brothers website or
It's
something.
It's on the front page of
It's in
Reddit
the
right
notes
now.
flag, too.
Yeah.
One more.
But it's
Yeah.
like way back.
Essentially, they said we are sorry. I didn't mean to upset everybody, and
Right.
all claims have been lifted. Like we're
They basically
Okay, yeah.
done
we're retracting
Fine.
everything.
We realized we built a system that could easily be used for wrong. We are fixing it. Oh, come on.
just
Whatever.
look at the bullet points.
Yeah. Discontinue the React World program. Never really started. Release all past Content ID claims. 2 stars. Content IDs. Okay.
But yeah,
So I think the moral here is that if this weren't YouTube, they would have gotten away with it. And gotten away makes it sound like they were doing something wrong. They would have launched the program, and nobody probably would have known about it because licensing has existed for years. So I think it's interesting in this case that now creators are more beholden to do their own PR than ever before, and also there's this weird, I think James hinted at it, this weird false sense of security that if people watch your videos, they like you, whereas most people that watch React videos see a funny thumbnail and click on it and have no fucking clue who the Fine Brothers are. Couldn't give less of a shit.
Yeah.
But the idea that there is
they're not really the forward-facing personality.
No, they're not, and that's not. I actually respect that.
That's fine. It's what a business does.
Yeah, it shows that you're savvy, but also you are definitely beholden to the whims of your audience more than ever before. And
You're right though. But I mean, I think that's the thing that I don't think we preach enough here, but we have said before is like it is dangerous to live in your own bubble, and if you get told that you're amazing enough, you start to believe it.
Yeah.
And we're very self-deprecating here, and we believe that we're just kind of garbage.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, I think we enjoy making content that we enjoy, and we like creating stuff, and we're glad we found an audience that likes our stuff. But like, I don't think we're ever going to be to the point where like every time we do a fan meetup, Bruce always brings this up, where it's like we go back to the first time we ever did a fan meetup. That's always in our head.
Oh, yeah.
Which is back at PAX East, whatever, 2 years ago, and 3 people showed up, and it was like, all right, what do you guys want to talk about? And then we did a fan up in Australia, and like I don't know, like 500 people showed up or whatever, and it was like it was pretty crazy. It's surreal, but it's always gonna be in the back of our head that we're like, it could be like PAX East. It could be 3 people.
Every time.
Yeah.
Everybody could hate us.
Hey, Eric was there.
I know.
And that
I
guy
love
who
Eric.
burnt out on the motorcycle, remember?
He almost died.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
that guy.
Yeah. No, I'm not discounting them in any way. I'm just saying it always it's better to be humble and think less of yourself than like get in your own head and think like, I
yeah.
could do no wrong, because then you start to make mistakes. That's not saying, not calling any specific group out or anything like that, but I think that is
I think it's safe to say that Fine Brothers made a mistake, and they know that. They apologized and said we made a mistake. Like they honestly they admitted it, which I appreciate. They're like fuck, you know what? We totally overestimated this. This is a thing that we probably shouldn't have done.
Well, I think that's the sort of thing too. Like it is. Hopefully, it's a humbling experience, and like God. Oh boy, this has
Shit.
been happening a lot lately. Is that the live?
No, the live
That's
stream's
the
still
capture.
good.
Oh, good. Okay.
Great. Yeah, that's good. Well, I guess I can just use the
Yeah.
OBS recording.
Ooh.
Oh, it looks like shit though.
Scary.
Or whatever. It's an audio podcast.
Well, I can wait.
Man,
No, it doesn't matter.
these computers have been crashing lately.
The other capture is fucked at this point if you don't stop it.
Ooh.
Yep. This
Yeah.
happened during the it's funny. This happened during the Tomb Raider podcast. Yay! Damn it. I'm gonna have to look at the logs and see why that thing decided to die.
That's awesome. Oh, sorry, man.
Hey.
You want to just hit record, maybe? Just salvage something.
So I think I guess some of the morals of the story are, don't live in your own bubble. Keep yourself humble. I think one of the things you guys hinted at before was really good in the sense that you can't really rest on your laurels or a format, especially in this day and age. You have to innovate all the time. You have to stay hungry, and like trying to lock down a money generating machine like that in perpetuity doesn't really work. I know a lot of MCNs, essentially that's what they're trying to do. They're running networks. Some of them are finding success, but holy crap, a whole shitload of networks have come and gone.
There is a song I recommend every single one of you go listen to. It's by a little group called Cypress Hill. There's 2 versions of it. There's Rap Superstar and Rock Superstar.
Yeah.
I prefer the Rock Superstar version. But there's a moment, a little interlude, where a guy's talking about being careful. He's like, you're going to run out of money, and you got to be careful, because there's always someone behind you. And they're always going to come up after you.
Yeah.
You want to be
And
a
it's-
rock superstar and live large, need a charge, fast cars, big cars, coming up in the world, don't trust nobody, gotta
Look over your shoulder constantly. Yeah.
Yeah, but there is that one part where it's like, yes, there is always someone behind you, and you will not be at the top for all time. So it's like, the best thing you can do is innovate and just be happy with what you got, because whatever's at the top usually doesn't stay there unless you're Frank Sinatra and he died and hung out with the mob. So whatever.
Good story.
Cool.
You guys like stories? I got more of them.
Bruce, go up.
We're talking about murderous directors.
Yeah.
Go to one more.
So that I don't know. That said, I really can't
Uh,
hate on the game too much.
You have to go back to the other one.
They were just trying to
There.
make something
Go
cool.
in.
Yeah.
Down.
Like I said,
By cool I mean something
Yeah,
that makes a
around.
shitload of money for
this?
not a whole lot of
No,
work.
no, the other
sure.
one.
It's another thing too, because I didn't realize this
out.
about the Fine Bros.
Yeah.
Don't pull it away. Gaming is part of the podcast.
but you're
He
talking
said that we're
over
playing
us.
the witness, so people know what's happening. Don't pull it away. No one listens to it in audio format anyway.
We have numbers that prove otherwise.
No, because no one's. It's all off of everyone's feeds.
Yeah, the feed broke, so now
Boom.
nobody's listening to it anymore.
Great.
This is just us commentating the witness now. In audio only form. Up, right. No, down.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
get that one. No, the other way.
Do you guys prefer that or us actually talking about shit?
Well, you should have had James keep playing it because he knows. What
I know. I was like, James seemed happier sitting on the seat.
No,
while
that's
he played the
bullshit.
game.
That is bullshit.
Bruce asked for help.
I was gonna say the one thing I didn't realize about the Fine Bros when they made that until I saw that video is that there's a lot of people who work there, and go on
Yeah.
trips to Italy and stuff like that. But like it's the same thing where this is one thing. I'm not trying. Like I said, I'm not defending any one group or anything. But this reminds me of sort of the thought process that I have for Transformers. There's always the person who's like, "Fuck Transformers! I hope that movie
Oh.
franchise dies in a hole and everyone involved with it gets cancer." And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. But then, like, I remember this article of, like, Michael Bay saying, he's like, yeah, we've essentially created an economy, and there are people who, like, rely on this movie franchise who exists every year because it feeds their families. I was like, that's kind of a cool way of looking at it. It's like, look, it's making kids happy, it's giving some people work, and it's making money, and it's not, you can just ignore it. It's not being shoved down your throat. You can just choose to look the other way. So I was always like, that's one thought I've always had where it's like, there are other people involved, same with the game development, other things where it's like, there are people more than just the figureheads, the Michael Bays of the world, if you will. And it's like, there is one guy who's just got 2 kids and he just wants to do his job. So it's like, I don't know, just that's another thing that I try to consider.
Thank
Very
God for
considerate.
you, Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Hey,
You saved the world, Michael Bay.
Thank God for
Yet
you.
you
again.
made Pain and Gain.
I really want to see 13 Hours.
I do too.
13 hours party.
Yeah. Iowa.
So speaking of living in a bubble, this is sadly not an ad read, but finally there's an Indiegogo for a VR game where you can fight monsters and fuck girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, bud. And this
Called
GIF
The
is,
Witness.
This GIF is probably the best thing in the world. Finally, you can feel what you see.
What in the world is
Wait,
this?
hold on. What am I seeing here?
It's a VR girl twerking it, and then so let me hold this up to the webcam here. You guys can all get a little look at that.
Right. And so it's stroking your Peter?
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
Essentially, you shove your dick in this long, like, neoprene tube, and then these clamps on the outside press in on the tube at whatever interval that you're getting digitally fucked.
But that doesn't match twerking.
Well, no. It was just called twerk.gif. So the GIF itself is a lady shaking that ass,
Yeah.
and then
I
the
was gonna say,
robot
that doesn't-
arm.
that's not how it would be in virtual. If you're just
Yeah.
seeing that in virtual reality and then your penis is being massaged.
Listen, it's an Indiegogo page. They can't show fully rendered 3D vag.
I just want to know what I'm getting into.
Hey, free
Literally.
a girl will sit on your dick and shake it out. What I love is the Indiegogo, like, it like has this minotaur with this like giant titty girl chained up, and like the video game is, I'm assuming you stab the minotaur to death and then fuck the girl, and it's just like,
Gross.
man,
Wait.
that's just crazy on the nose.
It's
like,
VR. You should be the Minotaur.
oh, fucking the girl?
Yeah.
Okay, well, sure, fuck it. You know, whatever, man. It
I'm
all
in.
works.
That's a stretch goal.
Hold on. Where's my wallet?
Ah, that was a good one.
Thank you.
Good job,
No one
Adam.
heard it.
I heard
Said
stretch
that's
goal.
a stretch goal referring to
know.
her labia.
Getting stretched out.
Anal hole. That's what you call it.
The more you resist, the harder my penis gets.
We're talking about sex Indiegogo?
That's it.
That's what you want to talk about? Oh,
I guess
boy.
what I want to talk about is I love this and I'm glad it exists and I will be there sticking my dick in whatever they want me to stick it into.
Yeah, we know.
But okay, so there's already arguably depending on what ethos you follow, there's already kind of a problem with like male fantasy fulfillment in terms of media, maybe?
Yeah.
So what happens when you can just live in that world? Like you can drown in even more of reality and be like, the reality I want to live in is where I stab a minotaur in the face and then I fuck a giant titty girl who doesn't say anything.
Japan happens.
Yeah.
I'm saying the birth rate declines.
Is
a
that
bit.
gonna be a problem? Is that what we're looking at now? You're almost there, Bruce. Other way.
I believe Darwinism will play a part in this.
Oh, what? No, that doesn't work. Yeah? Social
meant-
Darwinism?
It's just the people that are into that are going to be selected against, self-selected against.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
They're gonna digifuck until they die?
Well, this is kind of a personal question, Lawrence. And you don't have to answer it. Do you think you will ever want kids that come from your own penis?
I can't tell yet.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of waiting for. I mean, I think it's all situational. There was a time when I was pretty on board with the idea, but that all fell apart. So I don't
met
know
me.
anymore. Yeah, when I met Adam, suddenly everything became so confusing.
So why's your life? No. You're so close.
No,
Go the other way. Go the other way.
There
Go to
is
the right.
no
Go to the
other
right.
You can't.
You can't. Oh man, Jonathan Blow, you've done it again.
You got blown.
Feel the game.
James, you want to help me out?
Ooh, an extra sleeve for $50.
That's it. Well,
Vacuum and
Bruce can
cleaning
talk
kit
now.
upgrade.
Okay.
Virtual Dolls controller bundle. Design a girl bundle.
But no, I mean this is sort of the phenomenon that's happening in Japan at the moment, where
Yeah.
the birth rate is declining because it's sort of like socially acceptable to be antisocial. If that makes any sense.
There's that thing.
And it's easier to have like an emoji based relationship and not touch a woman in any way. And like whatever. I mean, if society wants to do that, that's fine. And like for the first time in like a long time, the birth rate has been like on the decline, which some would say is maybe good. Okay, you're showing me more porn
I'm
gifts.
fucking that thing. Look at him.
Oh,
fucking
that's
it.
you.
There's even a vacuum attachment so that it can suck
What's
you
wrong
off.
with her face?
She's hot. This is what happens when dudes do CG.
look like, right? She's like literally
Just
blowing.
like that. Yeah. Don't you guys like the touch of a woman? Man.
No.
Well, not
okay.
everyone can feel the touch of a woman or another man.
That's not true.
Here's-
Everybody can
here's-
feel the touch of a woman.
Here's the
True.
At some point,
are
everyone
Arcadian.
becomes an old man sitting on a porch, going, "In my day, right?
Yeah.
We're coming to that crossroads. We're at that age. Technology is getting to that point where it's like in my day, if you wanted to talk to someone, you didn't pick up the phone and talk to them artificially over some wire. You'd walk to their house."
Damn.
Well, in my day, people used to put their penises in real vaginas. Now they have sex with minotaurs or whatever. Like, hey, what are you gonna do? You can either move on with technology, or you can be the Fine Brothers. What do you want to be?
Wait.
I want to
Bring
fuck
it
a
back.
minotaur.
See? Oh, we're short of the hour. Oh boy, and I already wrapped it up.
Are we really running up on it? No, we're fine.
No, we're
We're
good.
fine.
We got
We're
14
good.
minutes.
Just for you ladies out there, it's not all about dudes. There's a Q&A section here. Are you planning on offering a female version of your product? If we're successful here, yes. We plan on releasing a female version of the product which can be used with adult gaming or multiplayer experiences.
Those already exist. They're called dildos.
Well, no, it's automated.
I
put it on a little
love
Roomba?
so here's what I love. Here's what I love. The idea of a dildo on a basically hydraulics.
Yeah.
Just going like vroom, 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 vroom at a constant rate,
Yeah.
being more pleasurable to women than
Than an
actual
adult
sex with a man.
Well, if the guys are all like fucking minotaurs, probably,
You
right?
really hung up on a minotaur.
It's the old, no, up, go back, go, oh, wait, down,
one
yeah.
in the middle.
Down more.
Yeah.
more, okay. And then, oh wait, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work. That's why I was.
So
Oops. I don't know. I'm enjoying. I think we really are in a period of transition right now. This is like the infancy of being able to choose not to live in the real world if you decide to.
I farted.
Nice.
Yeah, I heard.
Essentially,
I thought it was
I
a
leave this
screwdriver
world?
or something, but
essentially
It doesn't
that's
smell good.
it never does.
essentially that's already happened to a degree. There are people who. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Oh yeah. What
Basically-
the fuck was I thinking?
They experience all their
Nice.
media through video games and like movies and stuff, mostly through the internet.
Or online interactions.
Yeah, basically, they've elected not to live in a physical real world. Not to say that the other world is less real, because it's all human beings with human emotions. But I don't know. I think we're on the cusp of that becoming even more attractive to a certain kind of person that doesn't either get the world or doesn't want to be in it. And the idea that you can, like, basically, in the fantasies or the desires that you are bred with as a stupid monkey human being will be more easily attainable and more like impactfully attainable through digital means than physical ones, which will be a very interesting place for the human race to go.
Yeah. I think it's inevitable. I think we're going to go there regardless because going back to the free market, bringing this whole thing back, people will pay for what they want. And we've all, in this room, I believe, we've all experienced VR. And we know that that's in some way the future. And it's not affordable right now, no, but in 15 years, 20 years, it's going to be very normal. It's going to be likened to a cell phone
one of them.
or a smartphone where you just put on your goggles and you're there.
Oh.
It will be a part of your life.
I think so.
Which is a little scary. Because you have self-driving cars, and you'll be able to get a Minotaur blowjob
Yeah.
on the way into your virtual office.
Oh God.
I mean, the self-driving car is not going to be real. That's the thing. It's going to be a digital ride. Literally.
But you'll be able to get a blowjob in the car on the way to work.
Literally.
Bruce laughed
Oh,
at my
you
joke.
had it.
Hey,
had
Bruce
it,
gets my
Bruce.
jokes.
I had it.
Yeah, you had it.
Here's the thing. I don't mean to make pun jokes like that. I think pun
picked up
jokes
the
are
other
kind
one
of
last
dumb.
time.
Yeah.
It's usually on accident.
Guys, 6 textures for the interchangeable sleeves.
Yeah. How much? A quick question though about the Indiegogo, since it is the future. How much money is it at currently?
Man, he is fucking the shit out
I
of
need
that
to see the
robot.
Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah, hold on. I'm backing up here. They're at 7,000 out of 20,000, so they're pretty close to getting all the money for the
I was
prototype.
gonna say, what 20,000 get you?
Get you a fuckable fuck. I mean, it depends how much you pledge.
Oh,
At 250, you get the Virtual Dolls Super Bundle.
I mean, I can buy a Sibian and a copy of Dungeon Defender, and
It's
we're
not
good to go.
the same.
Okay.
It's not the same.
You clearly don't understand.
I want to stab the Minotaur and then fuck the giant lady.
I want to be the Minotaur, get stabbed, and die on the ground.
Anyway, the new season
Well, it's
of Adventure
multiplayer,
Brothers is great.
so we can work it out.
That would be awesome if if there was a multiplayer game. So we just did PvP.
You're dying on the ground
Division.
watching your friend fucking.
We just did PvP Division, and basically you're fighting over loot and dark bucks. But it'd be so much better if Lawrence and I could go PvP in a thing, battle, he kills me, and then as I'm bleeding out on the ground, like it's like hold X to crit, just Lawrence just fucking some maiden.
Oh,
That would be so
I thought it was
fantastic.
gonna be like pillaging your corpse. That'd be kind
Well,
of funny.
I mean, he takes all my
I'm going
stuff
to.
and then he goes and he just has sex with a woman on the wall. That would be so good. Better than any sort of taunt.
Watch me fuck this robot. I mean, fair maiden. God, so good.
Okay, that's a good story. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Speaking of spending hours alone with various body fluids coming out of you, you should check out Mack Weldon Underwear. because they're naturally antimicrobial.
Yep. Wearing them.
Doing
Wow,
it.
you guys really?
I'm wearing
slowly
my
just
official,
Shit,
my
let's
official Funhaus Mac Weldon.
I'm weeding mine out.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Are we all wearing it?
Wow,
Jesus Christ.
four of a kind.
So if you give us underwear, we'll wear it.
Hit them up and see if they want us to do a calendar ad, and then ask them why not.
Yeah. And then, well, the concept will be we're all like flaccid faced wearing VR goggles and nothing but our underwear with like stains all
All
over.
it says is future.
Yeah. Live the future. Wear Mac Weldons today. I'm going to go out, even though they didn't tell me I could say this, I'm going to go out and say they are the official underwear of having sex with minotaurs in virtual reality.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, they're going to love
I
that.
don't know if they want that
Pat-
There
title.
goes that calendar.
Yeah. Well,
No,
it
we'll make,
never came.
we'll make our own calendar where we're hella having sex with minotaurs. I don't know, Mac Weldon underwear is fantastic. James described it once as like feeling like Spider-Man, which is absolutely true. It clings to you in all the right places. It's got like crazy weaving and textures. It's basically like tactical underwear. It's Call of Duty underwear. It's great. Nothing can ever go wrong in a pair of Mac Weldons. That's probably a better tagline than have sex with a giant VR
I don't
monster.
know.
I don't know. There's
Sure, it's
certain
still
things,
out.
you're guaranteeing a lot of things.
That's true. I'm speaking well ahead of myself. But they're very comfortable, I can at least say that. And like I said before, antimicrobial, so if you're prone to crotch stank, this should help out. I'm a good salesman, Bruce.
Crotch stink. Oh my gosh.
And they have a satisfaction guarantee, which there's probably some reference to having sex with a minotaur in there somewhere. Yeah. All right. Still getting over RTX Australia, which we'll talk about in a second.
Oh yeah.
But you can try your first pair, and if you don't like it, you can keep it, and they will still refund you, no questions asked at all. So please go to macweldon.com and get 20% off your order using our promo code SOUP, S-O-U-P. Once again, that's macweldon.com, and our promo code is SOUP. Please try it out. Treat your genitals correct. Treat them well, and they'll love you back.
Treat them Weldon.
There. Oh, nice. Treat your genitals.
But you guys should still go with the
Mac
Minotaur
Weldon.
one.
Yeah. Definitely try the Minotaur.
Mac, if you're listening, I have an idea for you. Why did you hang up?
Have you heard about these Minotaurs?
Mr. Weldon?
All right, so Adam wanted to talk about craisins, so take it away.
Did I? Oh no. Well, so after
The best setup I could possibly give.
That's, I mean,
Take it
so
away.
man, that requires some setup. I just didn't want to. It's not much of a story, but
I don't want
regardless,
to play this anymore.
that's fine.
Go ahead.
I already did this.
Well, then,
Adam, take-
finish it up.
I don't want to play. So I want to talk
Go
about
ahead,
craisins.
finish.
James, do you want to appear smart in front of everybody?
I mean, I don't have these puzzles memorized, so I have to learn how to do them again. The trick to this game, The Witness, which is what we were playing, is that you have to learn what the puzzles are telling you to do.
Yeah.
So this one, we
put it
just
over
know
there.
it's blue and yellow.
Goes in the middle, Adam.
Well, the blue has to go through the blue,
Not
and you have to
towards
cover
you.
up all the
Try not to
blacks,
say
and the yellow has to cover the yellow. And also the paths are mirrored. John Bull, you did it again. Brilliant.
All right,
Okay.
anyways.
Crazy.
Anyway, yeah. So after Australia, Bruce and I and a couple other people went to Fiji for like a mini vacation, which was nice.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. And we went to the grocery store, and it felt like everyone was high because no one really knew what to get. We just got off the plane.
Well, we were afraid, too, because like, it was like we were in a rush. They were like, they're going to close soon. And we were like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So we ran around and bought anything.
But it's like 6 o'clock. But one morning we wake up, and I think it was Chris Damaris is like, there's a bag of craisins in here. It's kind of weird how it just like came with the apartment. Bruce's like, no, those are mine.
Yeah, I bought craisins for everybody.
He bought like a 4-pound bag of craisins.
Because we needed fruit.
And at one point I'm like, Bruce, you know that's just a lot of sugar. He's like, there's no sugar in craisins. And then Chris reads the bag, goes, ingredients, craisins, sugar.
With cranberries and sugar. And there's absolutely sugar in craisins.
We did not make a dent in that bag. We were like,
tried.
We were like eating them out of the pool, putting them in every drink that we had.
Oh, yeah, that's
It was just like, would you like a craisin cocktail? It's like, I'm drinking beer. Craisins.
At one point, Adam made a peanut butter and pineapple a sandwich on like a hamburger bun and put some craisins on.
To be clear, also, it was butter and peanut butter with pineapple chunks on
that
top.
doesn't make it
You
better.
gotta get your fats in.
And then, yeah, there's a little craisins to top it off.
The little-
Like I said, it was like a bunch of people got really high, went to the store.
we
and
weren't
just,
high.
No,
we
we-
were not high. We were not under the influence of anything.
No, that's what I'm liking it to. Is like when you go there, you're like, I want peanut butter.
Craisins.
I didn't want any of those things.
And those
That was
little
the problem.
those
was that
French
I didn't,
toast pizzas.
I didn't want any. Right.
Anyway,
Right. Oh, no.
Fiji was wonderful.
I'm glad that you guys had a craisin time.
Well, the best part about craisins was that I ate so many of them that eventually I was, and this is not a joke, I was shitting whole craisins. So like
You
I
gotta
was-
chew.
No, I did.
This is why you eat Panda Express. It's pre-chewed food, right?
Yeah, so I was literally firing craisins out of my asshole because I noticed I went to the bathroom and I was like, oh man, there's like a bunch of craisins in the toilet.
Okay, actually, no.
Who put these crates into the toilet? No
Now-
one's used the toilet, Bruce.
Now tell your side of the spider story, because I was huddled in my room hiding.
Yeah, so
all this happened.
There was a shared bathroom that a lot of us were using, and I walked in and I was like, well, holy shit! And there's this giant spider. I mean, like, let's see here if you can see my fingers. It was probably about this size on the wall, and because it was either like a larger, it could have been a larger insect or a spider, and we counted it had 8 legs, so it was definitely a spider, and it wasn't moving. It was totally in the daylight, and I was like, "Hey, Aaron!" And Aaron knew immediately what it was. He was like, "Oh no!" And he walked over and he's like, "Oh shit, that's a big spider." And I was like, "Yeah, it is." I was like, "So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna scare it onto the ground, and I'm gonna hit it with a fucking shoe." And
it's like a minority.
And Aaron was like, well, hold on, let me spray it with some bug spray first. So he goes and he grabs the bug spray. Chris is shooting it. Bethany has champagne and a brush in her hand, and so he starts spraying it. All of our bathroom stuff is in there, by the way. So he starts spraying a ton of bug spray on this spider and everything else in the bathroom, our toothbrushes and all this other garbage. Sprays it, stops. Its legs start twitching a little bit, but it's not falling off the wall. He sprays it more.
Spider.
And eventually it flattens out, falls down, and no joke,
Begging for death,
It's like
by the way.
crawling its way to the next door. It's so poisoned, and it's like, "Ah!" And so I grabbed the shoe, one-shot the thing. I hit it once, and the thing explodes everywhere, all over the floor.
Baby spiders?
No baby
babies?
spiders,
Oh.
thank God. So we just totally annihilated.
My experience is I'm in a room next door. Jess is changing and she's naked, and I hear screaming like ah. So and it's right next to us. So I lean against the door because my fear is someone's gonna run in because I hear the commotion. Everything.
I don't know why Adam think we would run into his bedroom.
Let's get in there.
Where's Adam's dick?
Let's get her.
There's about 6 people in there. So I'm like
4.
6. And like
12
I'm like
people.
anything can go wrong. Like so.
Anything could go wrong.
Yeah, so I'm like, there's always that one person's like, ah, and they run, and they look for and so I'm just leaning against the door and being like,
understand.
okay, and all I hear is, it's seizing, it's got a seizure, spray it more, and all I hear is, and I hear,
You're like, Aaron.
My boy.
and so I just hear people screaming, and I'm looking over going, nope, not going out there, not happening, until finally they go, we did it, and I was like, yep,
we did it.
you're finally men,
It
congratulations.
Hey, you didn't see the spider, and it was huge, and also like we were all afraid it was going to jump on Chris because Chris got the camera right up to it,
Yeah.
and we were afraid it was going to jump on his arm and bite him. Because I mean, who fucking knows? In Fiji, it could have been really, really poisonous.
That actually would have been. I kind of wish that happened. I mean, no offense,
I don't
no
wanna
offense
go
to
the
Chris,
hospital.
Hell no.
he's like the perfect guy to get bit by a spider, though.
No, that's true.
This is also this is like white people problems 101, or maybe just vacation problems, but snorkeling's bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
This is so dumb because I'm never ever in my life gonna buy snorkel gear.
Yeah.
But that's the only way to get good stuff because then you go to like any of these like you
Yeah,
go to
the
the
mask
beach and they're
doesn't
like
fit, and-
yeah they're like here you go, so the mask never fits again.
Tastes like
you
dog
got water
spit.
going up your nose and then the snorkel doesn't work and then the salt water's bleeding into your eyes.
Yep.
You're just like fuck, you just can't do anything. So
Yep.
I would just close my eyes. We had a GoPro and I'm just like
Snorkeling
I'll look
sucks.
at this later.
I'll look at this later.
The memories will be there. Then I look over at like Barbara and like it fits her face perfectly. Her eyes are like
She was having a great
totally
time.
clear. She's like, "This is the best mask ever," and we're all like,
I was spitting everywhere. There's water
Yeah.
filling up on my mask.
So I didn't really get to enjoy snorkeling.
The
is
irony is,
unfortunate.
most masks are, if it's like a scuba diving mask, it's actually not meant to fit that well because when you go lower, the water actually pushes it onto your
Right.
face.
Right,
Yeah.
of course.
So then it forms a seal.
Now this shit just didn't fit.
No,
yeah.
not at
well,
all.
you get
Did you spit in it?
in those
Oh, yeah.
water
Yeah,
masks.
totally. I did
You went
everything.
like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, clear it.
It was always in my nose. That was always the problem. And I'm like, it'd be better if I just had the little Speedo goggles, little tiny ones, and I just plug my nose. But instead they're like, no, we got the whole mask. You cover your whole face. I'm like, doesn't work. There's water going my nose. They're like, you'll be all right. Whatever. You have any other choices? So I just sat on the beach and had a pina colada. Chris and I just got massages.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wow.
That was
Good
fun.
call.
And they actually did this thing. They did the
The chopping.
yeah. And I was like, I've never had that done before. And the chick just kicked the shit out of
Did
me.
it feel good?
Yeah. So that's my Fiji vacation. That's
Cool.
why Bruce and I look brown now.
Yeah, you did a little bit. You got a little
Brown.
sun. Look at that.
Got some sun. It was fun. Fun in the sun.
Well, we had a wonderful time in Australia.
Oh man, did we ever?
crazy fan
Australia,
meetup.
man, that might be my new favorite, second favorite continent.
Sydney was gorgeous.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I was promised dirt and angry animals, and I didn't see either. Sydney was
Just
a
really nice people.
A beautiful, normal city. Yeah, a lot of very nice people. Man, a lot of sweating. A whole lot of sweating.
Well, that was nobody's fault.
Yeah, the venue didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah. And then the fan meetup place also didn't have air conditioning.
It did. I
Really?
stood underneath the
Oh, yeah,
van.
you're right.
There's
Yeah.
one group who just got a chair that just had that.
Yeah. Otherwise, we were sweating balls.
Yeah, my only criticism for Australia is, hey, air conditioning exists.
They call it aircon.
Yeah, that's
that's
cool.
true.
That's cool. You can call it whatever you want. Just
Just get it.
just get it, please. That'd be fantastic.
Wait, what the fuck? How did you know how to solve that?
There's the
There you
rocks.
see there's
We're looking
rocks.
at the rocks.
Oh!
Jonathan Blow, you've
I
done
think like a blow.
it. Speaking of puzzles, real quick, actually, there's one thing I don't think we talked about it much.
Ah!
We did a puzzle room while
I
we were
know
there.
how to solve
Oh, yeah, the
these.
puzzle room with Freddie Wong.
So Freddie fucking loves puzzle rooms. He's like
Uh-oh.
crazy about them.
The tree?
Maybe the tree.
Yeah, there's a rock behind the tree there.
But I
right.
guess quick shout out in Australia if you're there in Sydney.
Yeah.
To the Enigma room.
Enigma room. They
Yeah, it was very fun.
they got us in there and like
Well designed.
it's one of those things that like I don't want to talk about because I don't want to spoil it in case you want to do
Not
it.
at all.
But the guys were, I think they were Freddie fans, maybe Rooster Teeth fans. I don't know.
I think they were just Freddie fans.
Pretty much
Probably Freddie fans.
They
But
took pictures with him after we left.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. Once
that.
again, never want to assume. Because you never want to be that guy where someone comes up and they're like, hey, what's up? You go, oh, you want a photo? And they're like, no, you're standing on top of my kid. And you're like, oh, God. So
Sorry,
sorry,
sorry.
yeah. More times than not, I'm standing on the kid.
You're getting blown right now.
But if you,
Clouds, maybe?
I do suggest if you have like 5 or 6 friends, go do a puzzle room.
Yeah, go to the Enigma room in Sydney, Australia, or just another puzzle.
Just
room.
kind of look for them. They're fun to do. It was all your first times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done one with Joel before, and I've done a zombie one with Freddie before. And the zombie one, I felt like the dumbest person in the room because he just surrounds himself with really smart people. So I was just standing in the corner.
Oh,
of the room.
okay.
But the one we did, I thought was like it was damn good. Like
That's cool.
it was,
Very good.
Cool.
it was doable, and it was like it didn't feel like you had to be like a super genius to figure it out. You just needed some sort of like common sense. So
And I'm
highly
proud.
recommend it.
I'm proud of us for getting through that without fighting bitterly.
No, nobody fought.
I think we did a great job of being team based,
Nobody fought.
problem solving.
Yeah. I think that's another thing too. That's what is it? That's a famous quote. Someone says like, "You'll see a true man when he's put into like a stressful
A
situation."
puzzle room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what it's like. And like, part of me was like, I want to see Bruce break down, and he didn't.
don't-
Cool under pressure.
Why would I ever break down? When do I break down under pressure? Adam?
Bruce is rock solid.
I don't think I've ever those things. I've never seen you break down under pressure. I'm like, maybe the puzzle room will do it. Finally.
Oh man, I hope not.
The only thing that kind of like Bruce gets into experiences, but he never gets so into them that he breaks. Like he never tilts. Yeah, basically.
I can't do it.
Essentially, the closest homework we have is whenever we're competitively playing
yeah.
a video game in front of a crowd, and Bruce wants
We gotta
to
win.
Bruce
Come on,
wants to
man.
win and look good and be good playing the video game.
No, I just want to win. I don't care if I look good.
Really?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
Who cares? I just want to win.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only time I've ever seen him get remotely stressed in any stressful environment is when people are fucking around and ruining his shot at winning a video
I want to
game.
win.
Like Michael Jordan in Space Jam.
Exactly
Just like Michael Jordan and Speed, even though I've never seen it.
That's your home, Dude Supers, Dude Soup Nation. Your homework this week is to go and watch
Space Jam.
Space Jam
Ugh, don't
and
do it.
and tell us if you understand that reference or not.
New season of Venture Brothers is fantastic. Start it, all of you, please. Support it,
Okay.
please.
All right.
If you want to watch something good instead of Space Jam,
But kids like Space Jam.
that's
And-
fine.
and
Kids
Shrek.
like a lot of dumb things.
Kids don't like Space Jam or Shrek.
Memes are great.
Aren't they remaking it with LeBron James?
Shrek?
Sure. Yeah. And we're done.
Yeah, thanks for watching / listening, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Also, Jesus Christ, if you like this podcast, maybe leave us a little rating on the iTunes there.
Oh, that was nice.
And if you have a friend that maybe you might like it, maybe tell them to watch it too.
No.
Views are down. Help.
Yeah, views are down. That's not good.
Computers keep crashing.
If somehow you're listening to this, your feed is working, but if you have a friend whose feed is not working, let them know that they can just delete and resubscribe to the feed, and that should unstick everything. It's really tough. We've been trying to spread the word, but
That's an iTunes thing. Right?
yeah, it's an iTunes thing. It's a lot of other feed things. Like switching feeds on a podcast is really difficult to do.
If you'd
So-
like to continue listening to 4 men argue about the witness,
No arguing.
Space Jam.
Do it.
I need to blow my nose.
Again, like Bruce said, you can do a ton of stuff with a PC. So, like, maybe the better investment is the PC, but there is still that gap there. So, while, yeah, you may have to upgrade it, you can still get into it for a lot lower price point. I don't know.
Or if you're going the route of a Steam machine, you can, kind of meet that console price point and still get some of the features that you would of a PC.
My question is for the audience. How many people have a console?
That's
All right.
everyone.